A very good evening to you. You're with us on our final prime-time news bulletin for the year 2013. I'm Nicola De Zoiza.
A very good evening. I'm Shen Silva. Let's start off with a look at your headlines.
Headlines on Newsfirst at 9.
The budgets of another 3 UPFA governed local councils defeated. Several new tax amendments come into effect tomorrow in accordance with the 2014 budget. Kedila Kant comments on the opposition leader in parliament.
Ranil neme parliament vipaksh nayakayada Anura Kumar Disanayaka bawata pat wela tiyena.
Environmentalists call for the cessation of unauthorized land reclamation in the Athidia wetlands.
Newsfirst at 9.
Environmentalists claim that land reclamation is taking place in a section of the Athidia wetlands, an area renowned for its biodiversity.
Newsfirst investigated this matter.
The Athidia wetlands were declared a nature sanctuary on the 25th of July 1990, owing to the biodiversity of the area and its contribution to controlling floods. The wetlands, which span over 930 acres, is endemic to the country and a paradise for migratory birds. 44 species of fish, including 6 which are endemic to the country, have been identified in the waterway of the Bolgoda River, which flows through the wetlands. The wetlands are also home to 21 reptilian species, 17 species of mammals and 10 butterfly species. In 1989, Attorney at Law Jagat Gunawardena discovered the swallow subspecies known as the Ceylon swallow in the Athidia wetlands. For several days now, land reclamation has been undertaken in a portion of the Athidia wetlands by the Sri Lanka Land Reclamation and Development Corporation. If a section of a sanctuary is being reclaimed, no matter how small, then a report on the estimated environmental effect or a preliminary report on the environmental impact must be produced. As per the Flora and Fauna Protection Act Section 7, you cannot reclaim lands that are part of a sanctuary. We can clearly see that the land reclamation taking place in the Belamvilla Athidia Sanctuary is illegal, both in terms of the Flora and Fauna Protection Ordinance and the National Environment Act. Western Province Director of the Central Environmental Authority, Devika Vithanage, said that the Sri Lanka Land Reclamation and Development Corporation had made no request for an environmental assessment. This land reclamation is taking place without any notice being given or legal permit being sought. Senior officials at the Wildlife Conservation Department and the head office in Batramulla have not taken any steps as yet. Through this, the possibility of floods will increase and people in surrounding areas will be affected. In addition, a large number of species will be under threat owing to the loss of habitat. Attempts made by Newsfirst throughout the day today to contact the chairman of the Land Reclamation and Development Corporation to make inquiries into the matter proved to be futile. The general manager of the corporation and the chairman of the Urban Development Authority, Nimal Pereira, declined to comment. However, the Director General of Wildlife, H.D. Ratnayaka, said that the Land Reclamation and Development Corporation had been requested to temporarily halt work in the sanctuary. When inquiries were made, they said that they were using the land to park heavy vehicles being used in another project. We have only granted permission for the Cheres River project. We had not been informed prior to this about any land reclamation that was to take place there. Notwithstanding this assurance, today our cameras captured footage of continuing land reclamation at the Athidia Wetland Sanctuary.
Several tax amendments that were proposed in the 2014 budget will come to effect from tomorrow.
These include revisions to the VAT taxation as well as the nation building tax and tax on telecommunication.
On the 22nd of November this year, subsequent to the budget speech made by the President, In his capacity as the Minister of Finance, amendments to the special commodity levy and cess came into effect. As a result of this tax revision, there was a significant price increase in sugar, dal, canned fish and several imported goods. Meanwhile, it was also proposed in the budget to fix the tax-free threshold applicable for VAT on supermarket-scale retail traders at 250 million rupees from 500 million rupees per quarter, netting small-scale supermarkets. Economic consultants say that this taxation revision will also affect both wholesale and retail traders.
Soon after the budget was announced, we found out that a whole bunch of essential items were going to go up in price because the VAT and NBT was going to be imposed on those items. What used to be a tax levied on big supermarkets last year now goes down to regular size supermarkets, not just in the city but in the rural areas as well. Because it is not one outlet, the turnover of 250 million would be the consolidated revenue for the entire chain of outlets. Also what will increase is certain types of medication. Because certain preparations of medication that were earlier exempted from VAT and NBT have now been included. So there will be an impact there as well.
Meanwhile, based on the 2014 budget, majority of the goods that were free of the special commodity levy will be slapped with a tax. Accordingly, 12% will have to be paid as VAT if goods are imported at a cost of over 250 million rupees within a period of 3 months.
If this tax revision comes into effect, we will have to increase the prices. We have said this to the government very clearly. If the goods are slapped with a tax during the clearing stage, we will have to add it onto the consumer. It will be difficult for us to bear the brunt of this.
Importers associations say the discussions are afoot with finance ministry officials in this regard. Furthermore, the telecommunications levy, which stood at 20%, will be increased 25% starting from tomorrow.
The doctor who had allegedly installed secret cameras in the ladies' washroom of the Anuradhapura Hospital's finance division has been placed under remand custody until the 6th of next month.
The verdict was delivered today by the Chief Magistrate of Anuradhapura and Additional District Judge Ruandika Marasinghe.
The administration of the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital commenced a strike action yesterday that continued until today, demanding that legal action be taken against a suspected doctor. Our correspondent said that while services in the clinical and OPD units have been halted, emergency services are functioning.
I came at 4:30 a.m. with my 2 children to get some medicine. We travelled a long way to get to the hospital. Both my children are ill.
It is because we are poor that we have to suffer like this. If we had money, we could go to private hospitals for treatment. They protest and go on strikes whenever they want. There are plenty of patients inconvenienced. The Joint Council of Health Service Unions said that they take responsibility for the inconvenience caused to patients. As the members of the administration of the Anuradhapura Teaching Hospital, we call on the police and the Ministry of Health to ensure that justice is meted out. When will we receive justice? Until that time comes, we will carry out this protest. Meanwhile, the Government Medical Officers Association expressed their views in this regard. Please carry out an independent investigation, and after you do, ensure that suitable punishments are given despite their social status. If independent investigations are not carried out, or if investigations are not carried out on time, then we are not to blame. We have no problem if the law of the country is enforced accordingly.
The 18th Annual Sri Lankan Entrepreneur of the Year Awards was held at the Stein Studios in Ratmalana yesterday.
The award ceremony, which recognizes successful entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka, was jointly organized by the Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry in Sri Lanka, or FCCISL, together with Newsfirst.
Salute the real game changers of Sri Lanka.
The award ceremony is a comprehensive award scheme that evaluates local businesses based on a multifaceted requirement list, which includes their financial strength, management style, employment generation capacity, technology use, competitiveness and future viability.
Without all of you who are here, Sri Lanka can't grow. Government can provide the infra, but there are people who really sweat and work hard, create their own industries, who create opportunities of doing something, giving something back to not only to the village, to the area, also to the country. Imagine, this is one of the best studios in the world, in Asia, I think, I'm sure it is. And I don't know, even I didn't know today, when I was coming on this road, I was asking my Vice President, who was with me, is it possible to have a place like this, in a place which we think is far away, little away from Colombo? And the impressiveness of this is something that I not only me, I think all of you will take.
The Stein Studios used to once be a pipe factory. It was the spirit of entrepreneurship that transformed it into the world-class facility you see today. We grew with technology, and Newsfirst can also be consumed on all digital platforms today. We didn't stop there. We moved into different communities as a problem solver and launched out community activities, events, and forums. In addition to our novel and innovation outreach programs, we also have over 15,000 registered youth reporters all over Sri Lanka. Today, we at Newsfirst are very happy to be part of this forum and tell the world the story of our very own Sri Lankan entrepreneurs, a story each of us have to contribute to and all of us can be proud of.
As a local player in a fairly competitive industry, we want to stand tall and make a difference. And that, I think, is the same ethic that to a certain extent, the group here, in terms of what Sirasa and Maharajas have done in some ways, in what they did, in taking the challenge to be different. And you will see these same characteristics that you need to share to the next generation and the next, so that Sri Lanka can really pull through with a very strong entrepreneurial spirit, which for now, to a certain extent, is still not up there.
I propose that we should bring the entrepreneurial culture by emphasizing the importance of it and declare the 2014 as the year of entrepreneurship. Let me justify my statement by saying entrepreneurs will create more and more employment. They will contribute to national economy. Economic indicators of Sri Lanka will look better. Cross economies of all provinces will be very, very vibrant.
In Sri Lanka, we have undergone difficult times. For a period of almost 30 years, you had to do your business in an environment which was hostile. And through all those difficult periods, you have withstood the pressure, taken the risk, and delivered for our country. Sometimes we do not appreciate this enough. We are a society which recognize and honor our teachers, and those teachers who have taught us, we revere them for a long period of time. When we see them, we worship them. But at the same time, entrepreneurs who work, taking the risk, creating the jobs, are sometimes not honored sufficiently.
The Emerging Woman Entrepreneur in the Western Province Award was won by Nanda De Silva of the Handloom Factory. The coveted Sri Lanka Entrepreneur of the Year 2013 award was won by Sujiva Palya Gurage, the chairman of Sinani and Oaks Holdings Private Limited.
In the meantime, President Mahinda Rajapaksa awarded deeds to a group of Mahavali beneficiaries in Walaway.
The event was held at the Magampur International Convention Centre in Hambantota today. 5,000 deeds were presented today to residents of the Mahavali zone under a program to hand over land deeds to 45,000 persons living there. The While addressing those present, the President stated that the farmers who help produce rice for the country have been undergoing many problems because they do not have deeds to their lands. He further stated that these deeds were handed over with the intention of improving their livelihood.